right, folks. This 2018 will mark the 50th anniversary of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s The Poor People's Campaign. Well, a new coalition of activists from around the nation gathered at the historic Howard Theater on Monday to revive that movement. It is called the Poor People's Campaign, a national call for a moral revival. Of course, Reverend Dr. William J. Barber, he, of course, has been mobilizing and organizing with others with the repairs of the breach for the past 18 months, Alpha Ray. And of course, they are focused on the same issues that the King was focused on. So they had the kickoff on Monday. Our cameras were there.
For the 14 million poor children, we kneel. For the 40 million poor people that don't even know how they're going to eat.
What does the Lord require?
For the 37 million people with no insurance. And we need a movement that will get us back on our knees. Cause us to cry again until we do right by the least of these. By the broken, by the hurting.
Doc, you've been, and others have been focused on this for the last 18 months, 2 years. But explain this kickoff and then what it means.
Well, for 18 months, we've been traveling around the country. You know, a lot of media didn't pay attention, but we weren't worried about that. We were training, we were organized from the bottom up, clergy, all different races, creeds, colors, sexualities, anchor teams in a minimum of 25 states that are organizing 1,000 people. Today we launched, we announced the Poor People's Campaign, National Call for Moral Revival. In May, we will launch 40 straight days in a minimum 25 state capitals and the District of Columbia and in the U.S. Capitol, not outside now, not on the grass, of direct action, nonviolent civil disobedience, voter registration, voter empowerment, and power building, and around systemic racism, and our penetration point for that is voter suppression, one of them, systemic poverty, ecological devastation, the war economy, and we're going to take on this immoral narrative that has been pushed by the Christian nationalism and so-called white evangelism. We had people there, Doc, today from every state on Zoom. In the room, we had impacted people. We had 5, 6 denominational leaders, not preachers, but the actual leaders. 2 of them are actually head their denominations who were in. We had a leader of the union movement, SEIU. We've had Fight for 15 workers. The Apache Nation and other Native Americans are in the room. We're building this fusion coalition to launch this campaign. We launched 40 days, but the campaign will last well beyond 40.
You know, the point that we've talked about before, that you're going to places where people will be shocked. Kansas, you're going to places where you have largely white voters. You have individuals who otherwise have not been engaged in this way, because you're making it clear that this ain't a black thing or a brown thing.
We disaggregate, we put race and class together. So today you had a young lady who said, I'm a redneck from Washington State. I'm the white trash you threw out and forgot to burn. I'm in it. She was standing beside a black mama from Alabama whose daughter died in her arm from cancer because she didn't have insurance and Alabama didn't expand Medicaid. We've got people from Appalachia, people from the border. The power of this is we're reimagining what Dr. King and 25 other groups began. He was assassinated, but the movement, people don't know, it still went on. And we're not just focusing on Trump. See, we're focusing on these state capitals and the national capital where these laws are being made. But right now, we can't get through the media because of the tweets. We can't talk about changing the moral narrative because nobody's hardly hearing one. So we've got to do something revolutionary, radical. Historians tell us there have never been 25,000 people to engage in simultaneous civil disobedience in 25 state capitals in the U.S. Capitol in the history of this country. It's about to happen. It's about to happen. And we believe it's going to force a conversation. That we had people there today. We had black, we had white, we had young, we had old, we gay, straight. We had Republicans, we had Democrats. We had over 3,000 people sign up during the press briefing, in addition to the thousands that have already showed up. And you've seen the pictures, the audiences, what it looks like. And we know we're doing something right because Breitbart is already hitting us. But you know, the bottom line is, having one rally is good, but it's not enough. Sending one tweet is good, but not enough. We need a season of transformative direct action and civil disobedience around an agenda. So lastly, today, Roland, we release the executive summary of the Souls of Poor Folk, Auditing America 50 years after. The Institute for Policy Studies has put it together. We have impacted people and scholars and historians. It is going to be as big as the Kerner Report, with answers and with things that we have to do if we're truly going to be a democracy.
The group most devastated by America's obsession with the gun is African Americans. America is the largest prison population in the world. Men, women, children who make up the incarcerated, the overwhelming majority is black. The river of blood that washes the streets of our nation flows mostly from the bodies of our black children. Where is the raised voice of black America? Why are we mute? My mentors, Paul Robeson, said, "Artists are the gatekeepers of truth. We are civilization's radical voice." Our kids, those who languish in the prisons of America, are waiting for us to change the system. Thank you.
To all the strong women in the audience, let me hear you say, hey. To all the brothers who support the ladies in the house, let me hear you say, oh. Sankofa.org, let's get it.
They're moving forward with the Poor People's Campaign.
Absolutely. I mean, this is, for me, Mr. B he's who I wanted to be. Mr. B is who everybody wants to be. So to be able to be involved, to lend my creative work, to tell the people who have made my life change, given me the life that I've been given, just like you, that we hear them, that we still see them, and we love them, and we want to show them that we know that they exist. It was very important for me. So, you know, we got up early, drove into D.C. I was actually supposed to be in London, caught the flu, but I really had to be here today. It was really important. For me, it's not about going against something. It's standing for something. I'm not concerned about opposition or offense or defense. It's just what I want to be about, the frequency that I want to be about.
Well, when I talked to Dr. Barber, he said, this is not a thing where we're against Trump. He said, we are speaking to an agenda that goes far beyond even D.C. what's happening in these state capitals.
Absolutely. And that's the thing that's important. It's, I think that we waste a lot of time when we get caught up with being concerned about who we're trying to oppose. If we're always being reactive, then how can we actually actively do anything? So I think tonight is about being proactive within the scheme of what Dr. Martin Luther King wanted to create before he was taken from us, which is this campaign. And it's reviving this cause in a beautiful way, focused on our perspective, on our frequency, regardless of who's in the office. It's not about Democrats and Republicans. It's not about who the president is and who the president isn't. It's about who these people have always been and who they might always still have to be for years and years to come.
All All right, folks. Of course, we're going to have more on the Poor People's Campaign right here, NewsOne Now on TV One.
Weekdays on TV One.
I will never lie to you.
Oh my God.
Roland Martin.
He doesn't want to talk to us. He wants to ignore us.
Uncensored.
Hell no. That ain't gonna cut it, boo.
Unapologetic.
No, that is fundamentally false. You are wrong.
Unfiltered.
He wants an America where we all look alike. He ain't talking about black people.
Unrelenting.
You better go work out, because you got a fight on your hands.
NewsOne Now with Roland Martin. Weekdays at 7 a.m. on TV One.